In this installment, we're going to be going over the NFL bet slates for Week 1, the early slate. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Week 1 NFL early slate we got going on for the NFL season on Sunday. Can't wait to break this down here. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetChefZ. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about that Patreon. It is super important that you sign into that Patreon, because you miss out on last minute stuff. There might be alterations or switches as well, going off of line movement and everything right before kickoff. All right, so right now we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 10.2 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 20k, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we can go to a much broader audience. All right, now for the previous video, I did put out Chiefs and I did put out the under, but looking at what happened in the line movement and some information I got right before kickoff, we had on the Patreon Chargers +3 over 47.5, and some of the touchdowns were Xavier Worthy. He got hurt, obviously. Keenan Allen came through, and I had Juju as well. So we swept it on the NFL with the main player, Chargers +3. All that money coming in on the Chiefs, and then we have reverse line movement, made me switch. Same thing with that over. And I seen with these Week 1 defenses here, we see a lot of struggling. Offenses is looking strong in both of these games. Obviously, it was about to go over in that first game with the Eagles, but then they had the thunderstorm, and that just totally took out the energy here. But we're going to continue this hot streak on. You gotta sign up for the Patreon. Do not miss the community that we're building over here. As you see people posting plays, we're going through the slate 24/7. All right, so click on that link provided down below. You're gonna get full access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. First up for Week 1 here, we have the New York Jets going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Highly anticipated revenge game at MetLife here. We have the two teams that were on quarterbacks here that were on each other's team. So Rodgers was on the Jets, Justin Fields was on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they have swapped here. And this is a big, huge Week 1 revenge matchup here. Who's going to step up is going to be the real question in this one. Looking at the current odds, right now we have Steelers as road favorites, -150, with the comeback of the Jets at a +125. Point spread at 3, total at 38 points. All right, now public bet percentage here, 83% of the bets, 90% of the money, all over Pittsburgh. Everyone is on Pittsburgh right now. Point spread, same way, 55% of the bets, 70% of the money here coming in on the Steelers as well. This line has not moved, but meaning moved towards Pittsburgh. This line, actually, we have seen some 2.5s in some places. All right, so right now, as of right now, on majority, it is stuck at that 3. And hey, this is a road dog here, a road favorite here. So this is going to be very, really interesting. Looking at the total, like I said, at 38 points, 68% of the bet, 61% of the money towards that under. In this matchup here, both of these teams are bringing over new quarterbacks, new offenses here, so this could be a very ugly and sloppy game. Plus, with the Jets offense, they're going to be run-centric, very similar to the Steelers and Arthur Smith, run-centric. I believe in this one, that under does look pretty good at that 38. In a slow pace, low volume type of game, a lot of runs with both rushing offenses. Definitely going to be leaning towards that under 38. If we're going with a point spread or money line, I would go with the point spread at +3 in this type of environment that's going to be defensive and run centric. There's value on the Jets at home, so give me the Jets +3 as the main play. Secondary play will be under 38 in that total. in Everbank Stadium here. We had the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Carolina Panthers. So this is a very interesting matchup here, NFC versus AFC, to kick things off in week 1. And both teams definitely have some upside here. Both teams have some promise around them for this season. Looking at the odds, Jaguars are home favorites at -190 with the comeback of the Panthers at a +155. Total points at 47 and the point spread at 3.5. Public bet percentage here, 84% of the bets, 79% of the money all over Jacksonville. For the point spread, 57% of the bets, 53% of the money on the Carolina Panthers +3.5. And for the total points, 91% of the bets, 86% of the money towards that under 47 in the total. All right. Now, coming into this one here, we got Liam Cohen coming in from Tampa Bay to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the main thing here is everyone is on him and his offense and developing Trevor Lawrence, which is super, super important. Obviously, they went out and got Travis Hunter to go alongside Brian Thomas Jr. So this potent offense definitely has some potential, but this is week 1. Things could get off to a slow start. Obviously, implementing this new offense and the fact that Trevor Lawrence is just really, really inconsistent. I don't know if you want to say it's Liam Cohen. I don't know. Maybe you just want to say, hey, Trevor Lawrence doesn't have it. But it's going to be a true testament of what shows up in this season. Panthers on the other end, a lot of promise on how Bryce Young finished the end of last season. He came on strong, definitely utilizing his legs and his arm. Plus, they went out and got a high draft pick here in Ted McMillan, who is definitely a dynamic #1 wide receiver, to go along with Chuba Hubbard, who's been a consummate professional at that running back position. Panthers defense will be the question mark coming into this game, mainly the secondary. So that's going to be the interesting point here. In this one, I see value with the Panthers +3.5. I think both of these teams, question marks on the defense, definitely have upside offensively. Hopefully things can get clicking in this first game, but I do think that this game will be close. Panthers are going to come out hard under Dave Canales, and we're going to see if Trevor Lawrence can keep things together in this one as well. So +3.5, Panthers is the main play. Secondary play for that point spread in the total, I do ultimately think that this over creeps past the 47. So I would go secondary play over 47 with both of these two offenses definitely having upside. Next up in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta Falcons going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got an in-division matchup here to kick things off for these two teams. Looking at the current odds for this one, Buccaneers are road favorites -120. Falcons on a +100. Point spread at 1. So essentially this game is a pick'em. Total points at 47. All right. Public bet percentage here, 67% of the bets coming in on the side of Tampa Bay, but we got 55% of the money here coming in on Atlanta. So sharps and public are definitely on opposite sides in this one. Point spread, 64% of the bets and 70% of the money on the side of that Atlanta +1. Like I said, when it comes down to money line, public is on Tampa Bay. When it comes down to spread, it's looking like the sharps are on it more heavily in this position in this in-division matchup. All right. Total points at 47, 87% of the bets, 76% of the money coming in on the under 47 in this one. All right. Now, with these two teams here, Falcons putting Michael Penix here as their starting quarterback with Bijan Robinson. You know, they definitely have this offense clicking here. Let me go to the injury report. I'm sorry about that, because we do have to talk about Darnell Mooney. All right, so Darnell Mooney, questionable. We'll see. You got to give it up to Kick Time if he's going to be able to give it a go. Obviously, if he plays, that's going to be a big boost to Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Michael Penix and Bijan Robinson in this offense. All right. DeMarco Helms is out. Jack Nelson is out on the O-line. Everyone else is fine. For Tampa Bay, they're dealing with a lot of issues here. Christian Izzy, safety, is out. Chris Godwin, obviously, we know he's out. Vita Vea is going to be, he's probably going to give it a go with a full practice on Friday. We'll wait and see. But then on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line, Tristan Wirfs, their All-Pro, is out, and Benjamin Morrison is out as well. So got a lot of things that they're dealing with here more on that Buccaneers side. We're waiting on wide receiver Darnell Mooney if he's going to be able to give it a go in this one. Now, I do like the under in this game. Both of these teams are going to boast a strong rushing offense. We got Bucky Irving, who was fantastic last year. And then for the Falcons, obviously, they got a two-headed monster in Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, who's a monster. All right. So under 47 is going to be the play in this in-division matchup. I think it's going to be a little bit more low scoring in this particular game. Coming down to it, ultimately, there's too much value here for the home team here in the Falcons as underdogs. I'll take that plus 100 and run with it. I think these two teams are more equal than what you think. I have a lot of faith in Michael Penix as a passer in this offense, and I think he definitely elevates Drake London to a whole nother level as well. So give me the Falcons on the money line as the main play. Secondary play will be under 47. In Huntington Bank Field here, we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Another in-division matchup here in the AFC North. Looking at the current odds for this one, we got Bengals minus 250 on the road as favorites, plus 200 with the comeback on the Browns. 5.5 on the point spread, and total points at 47.5. Public bet percentage here, 91% of the bets, 95% of the money all over the Bengals. For the point spread, 58% of the bets, 75% of the money all over the Bengals to cover. And for the total points, 92% of the bets and 90% of the money towards the under 47.5 in the total. All right. Now, looking at the injury report here, for the Browns, we have no Mike Hall Jr., D tackle. He's going to be out. Anyone else? No, that's all. That's all for the Browns. Let's see if they have it on the other. I hate when they put half of it. That doesn't make sense. For the other end, let's see. Browns going to show the other team? No. So right now the Bengals aren't showing me much, but if we're going by here, they don't have much of an injury report other than Eric All. He's on the PUP. All right, so we'll go with Yahoo Sports telling us it's just Eric All, the backup tight end. He's going to be he's on the PUP right now. Now, the history between these two teams is very extensive, and as of late, the Bengals just have an issue here with the Browns. All right, we're going off the last 10 games here. With the Cincinnati Bengals, they are 6-4. The Browns are 6-4 against these Bengals. Year after year, the Cincinnati Bengals are having issues in week 1. All right, and that's going to be a big part here where I'm leaning towards in this one. A lot of people, as you see, public and sharps are all over the Bengals here, thinking that they fixed everything, but things I think are going to be a little bit different in this one. Coming into Cleveland here. I think there's value on the Browns. Game 1 with Joe Flacco with that plus 5.5, and that Bengals defense is a major issue. So the play here, you can go two ways. I feel very confident in both. I like the over 47.5, thinking that this game is going to be a shootout. I'll put that as a secondary play. We'll take value here with the Browns at home for a team that they really dominate, and the Bengals always start out slow. I think that they can do it yet again here. Give me the Browns plus 5.5 as the main play. Secondary play will be over 47.5 in the total. I think that they're going to have to play a back and forth type of environment. If the Browns offense gets going against that poor Bengals defense, that's why I like the over 47.5. It's going to force the issue of the Bengals to start scoring as well. So main play Browns 5.5, secondary play over 47.5. In Lucas Oil Stadium here, we have the Indianapolis Colts going up against the Miami Dolphins here. Very interesting matchup between these two teams. A lot of question marks coming from the quarterback position on both sides here. And other positions as well. But looking at the current odds, this one is a total pick'em here. It is a coin toss between the Dolphins and the Colts. Point spread at 1, total points at 46.5. Public bet percentage here, 53% of the bets coming in on Miami, 72% of the money coming in on Miami. So sharps are a little more heavily on the side of the Dolphins. For the point spread, 70% of the bets, 82% of the money here coming in on the Dolphins as well. And for the total points, 88% of the bets, 87% of the money coming in on the under 46.5. That one's a little bit of a question mark. and I'll get to it in a second here. The Dolphins injury report. We have Ethan Bonner, cornerback, out. Darren Waller out. Jalen Wright out. James Daniels, O-lineman, is highly questionable because he didn't practice on Friday. That's not good. D. Eskridge, who's like a third string, fourth string wide receiver, he's highly questionable. Everyone else is fine here when you're looking at the rest of the players. Colts, not many injuries. Tyler Goodson, like a third string, fourth string, he's running back, he's questionable. And Buckner had a rest day, so he's totally fine. Now I want to see if it's going to show me all the Dolphins injuries. Let's see if it does. Ashton Davis is out. So yeah, oh my God. So if you weren't paying attention, this Dolphins defense didn't get any better, and obviously they lost Mika Fitzpatrick. No, they got Mika Fitzpatrick. So my bad. This secondary was horrible last year. Horrible, dead last, and they did not do anything to improvement. If you think Minka is going to be the end all be all, that's not it. That's not all. When you got one-on-one coverage on these cornerbacks that are absolutely atrocious. Yes, I get it. Daniel Jones on the other side, but the Dolphins, yes, they can put up points. This defense is really, really, really bad. Really, really bad. So I don't understand how strongly everyone is on the side of the Dolphins, but this line is still technically in favor of the Colts if we're looking at the point spread. All right. I think that the Colts have a better defense. I think that Daniel Jones can come up with timely plays here for the Colts to definitely mitigate the Dolphins' offense as well. I'd rather lean on this Colts defense other than this Dolphins defense in this particular game. There's a lot of turmoil going over on that team. There's a lot of giving up on McDaniels as well. So I'm going to have to go with the Colts on the money line straight up. And I like the over 46.5 in this game here. All right. I think that the Colts can put up points against the Dolphins and force the Dolphins to play catch up in this one. And it's going to come down to who can make a stop. I think the Colts can do that. I trust them and DeForest Buckner and that cast and crew over the Dolphins, whatever they're putting out here, especially Duck. They got Storm Duck. Storm Duck as your Storm Duck as your cornerback. Jack Jones was pretty bad last year, and then we got a rookie in Jason Marshall here. So we got a lot of question marks here. I get it. Jalen Phillips is one of your best pass rushers. He's coming back. That's solid. But it's really the secondary that is the main issue for me. So give me the Colts on the money line. Secondary play over 46.5. In Gillette Stadium here, we have the New England Patriots going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. In this one, we got Tom Brady's team that he partially owns going up against the Patriots. So this is a very interesting matchup. Obviously, they set this one up perfectly for week one. Looking at the odds for this one, Patriots are home favorites minus 150. Raiders plus 125 on the comeback. Point spread is at 2.5, was at 3. So this line has moved, and the total points is at 44. All right, public bet percentage here, 74% of the bets, 60% of the money on the side of New England Patriots. For the point spread, it's the total opposite, 68% of the bets, 70% of the money all over the Raiders on the road. And that's why this line has moved from 3 to 2.5. All right, so total points here, 80% of the bets, 77% of the money on that under 44.5. This is going to be a very interesting matchup here, because if we go to the injury report, the Patriots are without their top tier elite cornerback here in Christian Gonzalez. All right, that is a huge loss. That's a huge loss. Obviously, Gonzalez wasn't going to guard Bowers, but now you have to deal with Jacoby Myers and Dante Thornton, who's stepped up in this preseason. It looks phenomenal. Has phenomenal speed at 4.3. Plus, he's like 6'5" to go along with it. They have some dangerous weapons here with the Raiders to go. Plus, you add in Ashton Jeanty. All right, so Will Campbell questionable, Charles Wood questionable for the Patriots. Raiders, they don't have any injuries. All right, so when we're talking about this New England defense here losing a major corner, now you got to move up DJ James and Carlton Davis, who was solid. Came over from Detroit. Thank God they have him to be at least the number one for now. But Christian Gonzalez was the lockdown guy. You got a rookie at safety as well, so there's question marks in that secondary. All right. Now, when I told you about this offense is looking really good for the Raiders with a veteran at Geno Smith at the helm. All right, so there's a ton of value that I like here on that plus 2.5. I think that there's an issue. It opens up with the Patriots defense. Same thing with the Raiders. The Raiders defense isn't that good as well, and they're going to need to step up. They can definitely get a pass rush, because if they can get things going here with Max Crosby, definitely coming around and getting some pressure, that's going to be huge. But still, there's still question marks in that secondary at the corner position for the Raiders, where that this can be a back and forth environment. All right, I'm on the over trend, okay, in week 1. So give me the over 44 yet again in this game. I like points in week 1. I like chaos here, and week 1 is always like this. All right, a lot of people come in and hammer the big favorites and think that everything is going to be fine, but they get overwhelmed and they get disappointed at the end of the day when there's craziness in week 1, because we do not know. All right, so there's value in taking the points for week 1. So points, give me plus 2.5 on the Raiders. Secondary play over 44 in the total. In Caesars Superdome here, we have the New Orleans Saints going up against the Arizona Cardinals in this one here. Looking at the current odds for this, we have Cardinals minus 300 on the money line as road favorites, with the comeback of the Saints at a plus 240. Point spread at 6.5. Total points at 43. Public bet percentage here, 90% of the bets, 94% of the money on the side of Arizona. And for the point spread here, we have 56% of the bets here public or on the Saints, plus 6.5. And then we have the sharps here, 64% coming in on the Arizona to cover the 6.5. All right, total points here, 80% of the bets, 72% of the money on the under 43. All right, now looking at the injury report here, Cardinals, Will Hernandez is going to be out of this game. That does hurt their O-line. John Gaines is going to be fine. Everyone else is questionable on the side of the Cardinals. For the Saints, they're missing a ton of linemen. All right, Trevor Penning, their starter, did not practice all week long. He's going to be out of this game. Chase Young on their D-line, he's going to be out of this game as well. That's 2 hits on both sides in the trenches. All right, now if we're looking at what I'm talking about here, this offensive line has been tapped through with the New Orleans Saints, and they're really down to some scraps. All right, Will Clapp out for the season. Nick Seldevery is out. Landon Young, IR. And then now, like I said, Trevor Penning is out game 1. This team here is leaving like a college level, maybe even worse, offensive line here for Spencer Rattler. And Rattler's already bad anyway, and he turns the ball over more. This is not going to help things with Alvin Kamara as well. And this does not bode well when we're talking about a Cardinals defense that really loaded up in this offseason with Josh Sweat and draft picks here, plus more, to really bolster that defense. All right, Cardinals defense is coming in pretty stacked and giving a really juicy matchup against this Saints offensive line and Spencer Rattler. Out of all the games that have a line like this, and I say, hey, you look at the other side and take the points, not this one. This is a clear discrepancy in talent. Give me the Cardinals minus 6.5 as the main play. Secondary play would be the under 43, because I do not have any faith that the Saints would even put up 10 points in this one. All right, so I think that is going to be a clear blowout. Cardinals dominate. Minus 6.5 main play, secondary play, under 43. This is the game I actually do like under. Last but not least here, we're in Northwest Stadium. We have the Washington Commanders going up against the New York Giants here. We have a classic NFC East battle between these two teams. Coming in for the odds, Commanders minus 275 as home favorites, with the comeback of the Giants at a plus 225. Point spread at 6. Total points at 45.5. All right. Looking at the public bet percentage here, 92% of the bets, 94% of the money all over Washington for the point spread. 52% of the bets, 55% of the money on the point spread towards the Giants. And for the total points, 82% of the bets, 81% of the money towards the under 45.5 in the total. Now, this game here, division rivalry, obviously, looking at the injury report before we go even further, Andrew Thomas is going to be doubtful for this game. That's going to be he's been inconsistent anyway, but they do lose Andrew Thomas. Super inconsistent since they drafted him. Washington Commanders here. We're waiting on Noah Brown. He did not practice on Friday. That's not a good sign. And then Jonathan Jones, cornerback, he didn't practice as well. That's not a good sign. So they probably might be out of this game. We'll see. All right. Now, what the Giants have to lean on is going to have to be that front seven. All right. Their secondary is a question mark. If we're looking at the Giants secondary, Javon Holland at safety is fine. The safeties are fine. Deonte Banks is okay. He's okay. After him, if you go to Cordell Flott, he's horrible. And then Paulson Adebo, he's okay. Very mediocre. This secondary is very mediocre. They would have to lean on the safety play of really Javon Holland, who they got from Miami. All right, and Drew Phillips. Okay, so question marks there in the secondary, but that front seven is absolutely elite when we're talking about Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Kevon Thibodeau, and Brian Burns. So this one very, very impressive on that front seven to go alongside Bobby Okereke, who's a really good tackler. All right, so that front seven is going to have to create havoc for the Giants against Jaden Daniels, which I think they can definitely do against this offensive line here, who does have some question marks, especially if we're talking about the right tackle position. It's a rookie. They can definitely take advantage of him, all right, when we're talking about Brian Burns and others with the pass rush, all right. So ultimately in this game, I'm going to be going with the side in this division matchup with the points with the Giants with +6 in the under 45.5. If I had to put that in order, I would put Giants, my top tier play at +6, secondary play as under 45.5 for the secondary play. I think it's going to be a sloppy game here between these two. They're going to bang it out. Love the under in this one, and I love the Giants to cover, right? So that's going to be our breakdown for the 1 o'clock games, the early slate for Sunday. Let me know in that comment section down below if you agree or disagree. We can definitely debate about that down below. Also, don't forget about that Patreon. Click on that link provided down below. You're going to get full access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. It's your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.